Hello there. So for this little tune, I was really inspired by industrial metal. That's a hard word for me to pronounce for some reason. Like Rammstein. I even looked it up, and this is sort of Neue Deutsche Härte is what it's called, the genre. But I love Rammstein, and I wanted to do something that had a steady beat to it, and also kind of groovy riff to go with that. So I thought I was going to just, analyze what's going on there riffing wise. So first of all, I've tuned down. So this is a drop D tuned guitar. If you're wondering why I use two guitars, it's because this one has high output pickups, or actually not that high compared to what young people use today. But to me, they're kind of high output because they're Seymour Duncan GB pickups, and I think they're a bit too high output for lead playing and stuff like that. But they work for riffing, while my other guitar has more of kind of dynamic pickups, which work better for soloing, and I get a better soloing tone. So it's just not just to brag about my guitars. It's also has a practical function. So right now I'm using this one because I'm going to show you the riffs. Basically what we got is a groove that goes it's a super straightforward drum groove. Boom, psh, boom, psh, that kind of thing. It's super easy. I suck at programming drums, and I think there's a reason, and it's because I've always liked straight rhythms. I don't really like when there's a lot of stuff going on drum-wise. I think it should be straightforward. It should make you want to dance, just like I danced. So that's important. So if I got a steady beat, boom, psh, boom, psh, then you can do some adventurous rhythmical stuff over that steady beat. Whereas if the drummer is doing lots of crazy stuff, then you haven't really got any choice but try to follow the drummer. Otherwise, you're just going to be playing two different things. And that's basically, I think for us guitarists, having straightforward beats is a good thing because that gives us more room for experimentation. And it's what I did here. So it's this kind of thing. And first of all, I'm tuned down to drop D. So tune your low string the same as the D string. Should be the same. Okay. But one crucial aspect of nailing this sound is the double muting that's going on. I'm muting both with my left hand on the 3rd fret and with my palm, the classical. You've seen it a million times in all those Metallica riffs or whatnot. But I'm muting on both places, here and so I get a very percussive sound, and it sounds different than just muting like this. Super percussive. Here's how it sounds without the palm. So together. So I think that's really crucial, and that sort of cuts through in the mix, although there's a lot of things going on. And I should say that there are lots of choirs and stuff in this mix, which I don't really think I pulled it off mixing-wise, so it's a bit of a mess, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And in some way, the guitar still manages to cut through, so I must have done something right in there. And I think part of the reason is, this technique that gives you a punch, a percussive punch. So we got this kind of thing. Boom, psh, boom, psh. Of course, these power chords are made very simple thanks to the drop D tuning. I can play them like that instead of playing them like this, like you normally would, So here's a rhythm that I'm sort of counter playing against the super steady drum beat. That's it. And then Now, the only real thing I want you to take with me, because you don't have to, or rather, you shouldn't be playing exactly what I'm doing. You can, of course. I'd be very honored. But the goal with these kind of videos is to make you write your own music and play your own stuff. And the important thing here, I think, is really to grasp this technique. Because I think it's a very useful thing for these percussive kind of riffs or rhythmical riffs, and also, of course, grasp the concept of playing over a steady beat but still doing some adventurous rhythm stuff. So actually, I don't really know what I'm doing rhythmically here, but to me it sounds like some kind of gallop. Of course, you might ask me, how did I come up with this? And this is probably a riff that has been wandering around in my head for a long time, so I haven't really got a good answer to that. But if I'm given just a straight drum beat, I know that I will get ideas from that drum beat if it's straight. Because someone once said that about Michael Jackson. Sorry for silly parallels, by the way, but that once he found the groove, then he started dancing, and then everyone knew that, hey, we're onto something. Michael is dancing, and and I think that's actually a good way to measure whether you have a good basis for riffing. If the drum beat makes you want to move, then to me there's a good foundation for this kind of rhythmical and industrial and groovy, I'd say, kind of metal. So, does it make you want to dance? Then it's good. So if I'm given that kind of drum beat, then I will find it much easier to come up with something that's a bit groovy. So even if I haven't got a riff that has been sort of wandering in my head for a long time and that is longing to come out, even if that's not the case, then I think I can come up with something if it's groovy, because I can dance with the music, and I can get ideas and be inspired and just sort of feel the music. I know that's an abstract thing to speak about, but I think it's really crucial, because all of us have a lot of musical ideas within us. And I really mean that. Everyone has that, provided you listen to music. If you like listening to music, then I'm 110% sure there are ideas in your head, okay? If you don't enjoy listening to music, then you're screwed. I'm happy to admit that. But then why would you be sitting here? So I'm assuming you like listening to music. And if you do, then there are ideas that are waiting to come out, and you just have to sort of, lure them out and find the right circumstances for them to start blooming. Oh, wow, I'm so lyrical today. But anyway, so if you're a fan of this kind of music, then I'd say just get yourself a cool drum groove. Simple one, maybe with some cool drum samples that sound a bit heavy, that inspire you and that are somewhat authentic. I use Steven Slate drums, and there are many people who would recommend them, and I certainly can. They're good. So maybe using those kind of drums, you can come up with a groovy beat and try to come up with your own riffs over it. And why not use this super percussive and cool rhythmical technique? That's how the second part goes. Okay, and then we'll play the first one again. And then I'm not really sure how good the end of the riff is. I know that the final chords work. That's cool, but this is a slide, and I barely managed to pull it off, and without the drop D tuning, it would definitely be impossible for me. But the reason I did that is, typically when you write a riff and you got a repetition, most riffs are a repetition of a super basic idea, and you repeat them, and then maybe the fourth or the second time you add a variation. And that's what I wanted to do. The fourth repeat, I wanted to do something a bit more different, because I think that rhythmically they've been pretty much identical up to this point. But here I wanted to do, instead of, I wanted to do, actually it's not any, there's no real difference rhythmically either, but there is a difference in terms of where the chord is going. Oh, there I managed to play it, thank you. So that's the last part. So let me play it for you. And then, of course, there's a bass playing in there, and there's a second guitar doing some dubs and trying to fatten things up. But the track is pretty simple. There's nothing more than that. Lots of background choirs, though. But guitar-wise, there's just two rhythm guitars and one bass guitar and one lead guitar. Oops, sorry. But anyway, so there we have it. That's the basic idea. Please ask me if there's anything else you'd like me to dive into, because I really want to know what you guys, what you have problems with, because that's what we should address. I'm suspecting that might relate to, inspiration. So how do you get your inspiration and stuff like that? So that's something we could dive into. If you've seen my other videos, especially the one that's called You Are Better Than You Think, or I think Why You're Better Than You Think. I think so, yeah. But anyway, that one is really focusing on finding what your strengths. And I think that's where inspiration starts from. Find your strengths and find your own preferences. And a lot of time our vision gets kind of blurred by what others are doing. Maybe because you're watching this video, you think that, hey, my thing is to, play industrial metal. Well, maybe it's not, just because I do that or doesn't mean it's your thing. So if you do like listening to music, then it means there's something there that is your thing. So keep exploring new music, keep listening to music, and keep thinking about what you enjoy and analyze that. And you have a bright future. Cool. So thank you very much for watching this. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate if you want to drop me a comment somewhere. If you're watching this on Facebook, then I guess it's below the video. And same goes for YouTube. So just watch below the video and type something there. Hello, Chris. How are you doing today? I love your cap. Or whatever. Just type something and we'll get talking and that'll be fun. Cool. See you guys. Goodbye.